She's grown, she's bold, she's speaking her mind. A little dose of truth with a whole lot of shine. Hot topics, real life, no stressing. You tapped in now, it's a dose of precious.
Real talk, good vibes, and Jim's authentic. Welcome to A Dose of Precious. So, just to jump right in, a quick update. I am in a good mood. I don't have any complaints. I finally went to go and see the movie Sinners. I won't be speaking about it on this episode, but I do want to recap how I felt after seeing the movie and just give my review on seeing the movie. What I will say is I feel like the movie was a 9.5 out of 10. The reason why I give it a 9.5 out of 10 is just because I wish that I would have been surprised with the vampire aspect. I feel like that would have really threw me off my toes. But other than that, I loved it so much. I love the symbolism, and I will definitely be going to see it again. And I think I want to see it again before I give my full review, because I just want to be able to pick up on anything that I may have missed the first time. I enjoyed watching it. I watched some reviews. Well, one review, and that one review just pointed out so many things that I missed that I want to go back and I want to see it again, and I just want to experience it. There also is an ending to the movie. So after the credits roll, there's another part to the movie. Don't be like me and leave immediately. Watch that part. I want to see that part too. So hopefully I get to see it again. And when I see it again, I'll come back and I'll be able to give my full review on the movie. But yeah, I have no complaints. You guys see my flowers? These are so pretty. These are so pretty. Look at them. They're gorgeous. The yellow and the pink flowers. The purple flowers. Well, the yellow and the pink roses. The purple flowers. The other yellow. This is just a really beautiful bouquet. I love them. I want to talk about the Met Gala outfits. So the Met Gala was last week, and I just quickly wanted to just give my input on some of the outfits that were worn to the Met Gala. The theme of the Met Gala was super fine tailoring black style. And yeah, let's see a few people. I can't go through everybody, right? But I just wanted to show you guys some of my favorites. Some of the ones that weren't so much my favorite, but that I didn't hate. Starting off with Jeanette Monáe. One thing I will say about her is I feel like she's stylish no matter what. And I feel like this specific style was so perfect for her. I love the colors. I love the patterns. I love the contrast. I love the hat. I love the eye situation that she had going on. And I always am going to love a dramatic entrance. So whenever they do some type of transition, I love it, love it, love it, love it. I did not notice it initially, but she is actually wearing a skirt. I thought that these were pants. Her wearing the skirt made it so much better. If I had to rate this, I would give this a 10 out of 10. I think she did an amazing job. I loved it. Well, her and her team did an amazing job. Moving on to Zendaya. Now, I like it. What I will say is I felt like it was a bit basic. I felt like it was classic. I thought it was plain. But when I think about Zendaya's style, I feel like she always kind of plays it pretty safe. There also was someone else wearing the outfit. So, considering all of that, I would give it a 7 out of 10. But she does look good, and I do like it. It's just, I wanted a little oomph, Now, Damson Idris. I loved every second of it. I loved the color red. I loved the helmet that was bedazzled. And of course, I loved the entrance. I thought that this was also a 10 out of 10. Don't forget the details. He just did it. This was perfect. I loved it. Nicki Minaj. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It's Nikki. She's gorgeous. Of course, everything she wears is going to be nice. Didn't love it though. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. Tyla, I think it was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. This was another 7 out of 10 for me. What I will say is that I think the short hair is really cute. I love a good short hairstyle. I love that it was blonde, which is different for her, right? Usually she goes dark. But still, it was just something. It was like, I guess it was too plain for me. And I feel like the Met Gala is the opportunity for you to be creative. Like, if this was a regular, just red carpet, I'd be like, okay, that's cute. I like it. But it wasn't. This was the Met Gala. And I feel like this is your time to be dramatic. Okay, so Doechii. There was a lot of controversy behind Doechii's outfit. There was a specific content creator that spoke about how brands would constantly put black people in loud labels and they won't do that to white people. He then took the time to go on, specifically Louis Vuitton, which is what Doechii was wearing, their website, and he compared the different outfits that they would put on black models compared to the white models. And you would notice that when it comes to the white models on their website, it was always very much so, if there was a logo, it would be a tiny logo. And then when it came to black people, it would be monogram, monogram, monogram. And so it kind of just gave racism, even though we know racism is in everything. I just really didn't like it. I felt like we don't need to know that you're wearing Louis Vuitton like all over. And this was not Doechii. This was, they essentially dressed her. I mean, I'm sure she has some type of say, but I just didn't like it. They also put like a LV sign, which is their logo, on her face, which kind of made it seem like they were branding her. Didn't like it. I think that the concept, like the basic concept of it, was cute. I could have done without the logos. But Doechii is gorgeous, so she looks beautiful in anything. And that's what I have to say about it. Now, Sabrina Carpenter. I think this color looks really good on her. I love the hairstyle. She doesn't have on any pants. If this was a black person and they came with no pants, it would be uproar. Why is she not wearing pants? Why is her cootie cat out? Why is her cootie cat out? Girl, put some pants on. Moving on. Oh, and she was also the sponsored style, whatever you want to call it, by Louis Vuitton. So they definitely dropped the ball this year. Moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. Love Megan. She's gorgeous. Love that for her. I just personally, I guess when I heard the title and the theme, for me, I was kind of thinking more masculine. And so I guess her outfit kind of threw me off. That's just me being honest. And so I will be a little bit biased. Although she looks beautiful, I just wanted to see her in something not, like, I feel like she would wear this to any red carpet. And I just wanted to see something just different, something more, what I would consider it to be, and of course this is just my opinion, but what I would consider it to be closer to the theme. I mean, I guess this was her interpretation, and so I can't take away from that. I didn't love it though. I feel like we always see this in her. She looks good, but I feel like we always see Megan in something like this. So Coco Jones, gorgeous. Love the slick back. I love the outfit. I'm not going to say I love it. I like the outfit. I love the bling. I love the bedazzle. I hate the necklace. Hate the necklace. But I think she looks good. I love that she has a small bust, so she can wear like a really deep V cut. I think this is cute. I like it. I think this is appropriate. I think it was a great perspective on the theme. I like it. I would rate that a 8.5 out of 10. This is Auntie Diana. And so, of course, Auntie Diana did her thing. Yes. Do I think it's on theme? I mean, I guess that's her interpretation. But love the hat, love the dress. She looks amazing. We cannot give Auntie Diana nothing less than a 8.5. Now we're gonna get into Rihanna. I love the hat. I love that it was grand. I love that so much. Love the crop, the little crop jacket. The rest of the outfit, but the star of the show is the baby. She shows up her baby bump. Rihanna is pregnant with her third baby. She looks amazing. She ended the show. Love Rihanna, right? And then we see her baby daddy, or the father of her children. ASAP Rocky. I feel like this is so on brand for him. I feel like I've seen him wear stuff like this before. And so he looks how he always looks. Moving on. To segue right into Viral Talks, which is the next segment.
Viral Talk.
The girls or the streets is saying that ASAP is cheating on Rihanna. I said it. That's what the streets is saying. They're saying that he is cheating on Rihanna, and that he's cheating on Rihanna with some OnlyFans girls. That is multiple people. And she just announced that she's pregnant with her third baby. So, not really feeling ASAP. It could not be true. I hope it's not true. It could be a rumor. I hope it's a rumor. To be cheated on while you're pregnant, to know that you're being cheated on while you're pregnant is insane. I hope it's not true. So there was also a lot of talk about the fact that Rihanna and ASAP Rocky are not married. I don't think that being married necessarily means that this person is going to be committed, but I think that it definitely shows a certain level of commitment. She may say, I don't want to get married because I want to protect my assets. He may be the person that doesn't want to get married. I mean, we don't really know what the situation is, but I mean, 3 babies in, what's going on? Like, where's the ring? Hello? Knock, knock, marriage. I mean, assuming he isn't cheating, what is the issue? What's the holdup? 3 babies in, what is the problem? I think, being realistic, she is a billionaire. He is, they said, a thousandaire, which means he may have like some hundreds of thousands. And so again, she may be trying to protect her assets, but that's what we have prenups for. And prenups honestly can work in everybody's favor if you do it right. That's how I feel. I mean, call me naive. I've never been married. I've never signed a prenup. But I know that, you get you a good lawyer and that shit could work in your favor. I do know that. So I don't know what the hell is going on. What I will say is 3 babies is a lot. Congratulations, Rihanna. Moving on. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the Diddy case. There is a lot to discuss. So the case officially started this week, this Monday, today, the day I'm recording. So this week. And it's a lot already. It's a lot. We know that the jury clearly has been selected, and the people, aka the lawyers, have given their opening statements. If you don't know, Diddy is facing federal charges. He has been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, kidnapping, and coercion. He's tried to get out of prison several times. Just an update for the people who don't know, he's tried to get out of prison several times. They have denied his bail, and so yeah, we finally got started today. So basically, the prosecution is alleging that he uses his wealth, his influence, and violence in order to get the victims to do what he wants them to do. He would essentially drug these people, get them to do these sexual acts, and then record those sexual acts and threaten them with the tapes. The threat would be, you need to do what I say, or I'm going to release these tapes. Obviously, that's how it would work. We know that the video of Cassie came out where he basically beat her up essentially in the hallway. We had the security guard come out, the security guard that actually came to de-escalate the situation that day. He was the first witness. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. The defense's overall argument is that him and Cassie had an abusive relationship, and so it was just domestic violence, and it had nothing to do with sex trafficking and all of the other alleged crimes that they are they're accusing him of. He's also saying that all of the lawsuits of the victims coming out and saying that he did these heinous things to him are just people that are trying to get money from him, and that's why they're all suing him at the same time. They just want money, and they're lying. It's all a money grab. So that's their defense. And as I said before, so the security guard that came to de-escalate the situation that we saw in that video of him and Cassie basically said that he was notified that he needed to go and assist with the situation. When he got there, that Cassie was in the corner. She was holding her face, crying. That Diddy was sitting in the chair in his robe with socks on. And one thing that was highlighted was that he had a devilish stare. This is what everybody is highlighting. This devilish stare that he had. The security guard was able to escort both Cassie and Diddy to the room. Cassie just kept repeating that she just wanted to get her things and leave. She just wanted to get her things and leave. It was clear that Diddy was not allowing her to leave. And when the security guard tried to speak to Cassie and say, "Do you want me to call the police to get some help?" the security guard stepped into the middle. And so she was just, again, reiterating the fact that she just wanted to leave. And Diddy prevented her from doing that. So this was just day one. Of course, we will have more witnesses come up. We know that Cassie is going to be one of those other witnesses. And then there's some other people that are still under like the Jane Doe type of names. And so it's going to be interesting to hear what they also have to say about this. Something else that was big that came out today was that one of the sex workers, so basically the way Diddy would do it with Cassie a lot of the times was he would have Cassie reach out to these male sex workers. He would have the male sex workers come to the room. He would watch these male sex workers and Cassie have sex, and he would essentially direct them, like go faster, go harder, go slower, etc., and tell them what to do. And they would, of course, pay the sex worker, and Cassie had no say in the matter. In one of these encounters, it was said that he instructed the sex worker to urinate in Cassie's mouth. So crazy. And so that's all we have for the day. Those are the biggest takeaways. I just want to give, like, hearing what happened just made me sad for Cassie. It made me disgusted. Basically, what Diddy's lawyer is trying to say is that him and Cassie were in an abusive relationship, aka he used to beat her, but she was a willing participant, and she didn't want to leave. And the day that she said she wanted to leave is when he allowed her to leave. It's ironic that he would say something like that when in the video she was literally running and he literally prevented her from leaving. And so that just contradicts the whole entire argument. I think that as time goes on, there's going to be some really dark things that come out. There's been a lot of people that have been named in connection to this case. It's been Kid Cudi, Odell Beckham Jr., Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, the list goes on. And so it'll be interesting to see how things unfold. I do want to preface that Kid Cudi and Michael B. Jordan were simply dating Cassie when she broke things off with Diddy. But once Diddy found out, he then essentially, this is what allegedly he threatened them, and so that was their interaction with the situation. They weren't necessarily involved in any freak offs or anything, but it'll be interesting to see how things unfold. Yeah. I wanted to quickly speak about the controversy behind Terrence Howard and him not wanting to play Marvin Gaye. So I heard a lot of people basically alleging that they felt that Terrence Howard was gay. I mean, they felt like Terrence Howard was homophobic because he didn't want to play Marvin Gaye. And the reason he didn't want to play Marvin Gaye is because Marvin Gaye is gay. I 100,000,000,000% disagree with that. I think that we have to respect people's boundaries. If the man says that he does not want to play a gay character, I just really don't understand what's the problem with that. He's not comfortable with it. Other people have made the comment, oh, this may be the thing that gets him the Grammy or the Oscar, this may be the thing that propels his career. But if he's not comfortable with it, then he probably won't give his all. So there's no need for him to even do it. We have to be so fucking for real and respect that some people just don't feel comfortable doing certain things, and that is okay. This could have been the thing to get him the Oscar, but if he doesn't want to do it, then oh fucking well. Stop trying to push what you want for somebody or what you think is good onto other people. He said he don't want to do it. I really don't see a problem with it. I think that a lot goes into, playing like the biopics characters, because you really have to embody that person, not only their mannerisms, but you're going to have to, especially if they want to give a realistic depiction of who that person is, you're going to have to be in some interesting situations, and a lot of the times that does include sex scenes. And I could only imagine like a man who just doesn't feel comfortable with that having to kiss another man, because in those scenes, they literally kiss. They have to kiss each other. Or, even the sex scenes, you having to be bent over or you having to bend somebody over. That can be very uncomfortable. So he knew his limits. He knew his boundaries. And me personally, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I feel like, why can't people respect that? What is wrong with this man saying, I don't want to do this. No, thank you. We have to respect people's boundaries. Seriously. Oh, now moving on to show recap. So for this episode, we are going to be recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I believe it's episode 8. Of course, as usual, we are going to start off with Shamia. I just want to say I am very much so disappointed in the direction that Shamia's storyline is going in. She started off strong. We love Shamia. We loved her personality. I will partially blame it on production. I feel like we don't really get to see Shamia's personality, and I've said this before, when she's with the group. We get to see it during the confessions. We get to see it during the after show. But when she's with the group and they're filming, I feel like, I don't know if they're cutting it out. I don't know if she's like nervous and she's quiet when she's with the group, but I feel like we don't really get to see who she truly is. And I hate that for her because that is what makes her so likable. I'll say this again. I've said this several times at this point. I want her to drop Portia. She don't need to be that bitch friend no more. Portia is a friend to no one. Okay? And we'll get into how I feel about Portia, but she's a friend to no one. Is Portia good for TV? I honestly never really liked Portia like that. Everybody was so excited that Portia came back. Me personally, I wasn't really moved. I watched the show just because, but I was like, this is not really that exciting. The only people that are like super iconic to me, and I don't want to get into this, but we'll tap on it real quick, is honestly Nene and Kenya. They're the ones that made the big mark, in my opinion. The rest of them bitches could come and go. I like Cynthia. I'll say that again, but Cynthia is not really like super drama filled, in my opinion. Anyway, moving on. And then Shamia has the storyline, and we're following, her process with her baby. And I love that for her. I love to see the real side of her. But it's like, Shamia, you have to bring more. The only time we've seen her, like, combative with anyone so far has been Angela. And although Angela can hold her own, even they have come to some type of middle ground. At least at the beginning of the episode, they were on good terms. And so it's just like, okay, now what, Shamia? Now fucking what? We know you're a rich bitch. We know you're funny. We don't get to see that. We know you sing every episode. Okay, cute. I do like your song. Your song is on my playlist. Baby, slow down, relax, and sit back. I don't know the words yet, but I don't know the words to most songs. Baby, you know you can handle all of that. You can handle all of that. There you go. And so love the song. I think it's a great song. It's giving very much so old school R&B. Love it. Old school R&B still feels relevant though. Like not like it sounds ancient. It's good. It's a good song. We need more, Shamia. We need more. We need more. And I hate that the more, because I knew that we was going to get here. I hate that the more has to be you and Portia's relationship, but the truth is that bitch was never your friend. She may have been your friend when I was 5. She hasn't been your friend in over 30 years. How old are you? 40? She hasn't been your friend in over 30 years. Moving on. We move on to Portia and her tired ass storyline with her and Dennis. And her being mad at Dennis for filming with Drew, which is so stupid. We see that they get essentially a nanny. Okay. Portia's another one. She's just flopping so hard. Her storyline focusing on Dennis is just like so annoying. And I want to be mindful to the fact that 1, she's going through a divorce, and 2, what's his name? Simon made it so that she can't film in the house and she can't speak about certain things. But I just feel like you should have sat down with production and really brainstormed and really tried to come up with something that would have been exciting to the people. Because honestly, I don't want to fucking see you fighting over Dennis. Is that your man? Is that not your man? Like, what is going on? Are you divorcing Simon, or are you trying to get back with Dennis? Like, what are you doing? I'm honestly over Portia, but that's just me. One thing that stood out to me when Portia was talking to her mom and Lauren about the whole pool situation was, we know that Shamia was there. Shamia is her best friend. Should have been her best friend for years. Well, not should have been. Allegedly was her best friend for years. But she called Cynthia her second Lauren. And I'm like, why would you call Cynthia your second Lauren when your best friend that you've known for years is there? Every time I say that, I instantly think of another memory of somebody saying, Portia is Shamia's best friend only when the Real Housewives don't want to be friends with her. And I think that that's the perfect example of the type of bitch that Portia is. She only wants to be friends with people that she feels can bring her up as far as a societal status. Portia wants to live a certain lifestyle. Portia wants to be in a certain class or whatever the case may be. And she will do whatever it takes. Steal your man. Step on your head as a friend. Do anything that it takes in order for her to get there. And although we see that Shamia is a real life Real Housewife, she's a real life rich bitch. Shamia also, although she's relevant and she's been around, she isn't like that super poppin' girl that's going to elevate Portia's status. And that's what Portia wants. And that's what Portia's looking for. And Portia's always going to choose that status and that connection to that status as opposed to a real and authentic and genuine friendship. Which is, again, why Shamia needs to leave that bitch alone. Leave that bitch in the dust. Pay her dust. Pay her dust. Pay her dust. I mean, pay her dust so much to where if y'all are in the same party and y'all are across the room, if she does not come over to you, make her way over to you to speak, then there's nothing that needs to be said. We already know that she did not go to that girl's wedding, which I personally think that's grounds for, bitch, I would never speak to you again. But that's just me. How the fuck, even if she went to because they was like, she went to the wedding in Atlanta, she just didn't go to the one in Africa. Unless it was a life or death situation, why wouldn't you go to your best friend's wedding? I don't give a fuck if the bitch had 10 weddings. Why didn't you go to the wedding? What was preventing you from going to your best friend's wedding? If something happened and some real shit happened, then okay. But your wedding? You didn't go to her fucking wedding? Are you dumb? And y'all are sitting here defending that, and she defended it. And then we've seen, if I don't want to skip ahead to the next episode, but you know, spoiler alert, the bitch lied. She said she was sick. She wasn't sick. She just didn't want to go. There would be nothing to be said to me. I honestly would have been nothing to be said in the first place. It would have been nothing to be said in my opinion in the first place. Shamia, that is not your fucking friend. Stop talking to her. Oh, the door's open. Bitch, the door is bolted shut, bitch. You in a vault. That shit is bolted shut. Fuck that hoe. Fuck that hoe. And I don't even understand how, you know, Shamia was friends with her anyway. Because I wouldn't keep that bitch around my man. Not the way she be hopping and bopping and thotting. But then the streets said that, you know, Shamia was a hoe back in her day too. I don't know. The point is, Portia's a horrible friend to Shamia. And I'm tired of the Dennis and the Drew storyline. Moving on. So, Drew brought nothing to the episode, so we're going to skip her. Kelly had a dog for her party. Don't care. And then we get into Brittany. So, Brittany's mom is selling her house. The streets is saying that Brittany's mom is selling her house because she's trying to use the money as a down payment so that they can buy a bigger house and elevate from the house that her and her husband is in right now. Now, although you may be like, wow, that's really far-fetched. My question to you is, why the fuck would her mom need to move in to help her with the baby and the bitch is not pregnant? And you may be like, how you know she not pregnant? How you know she not pregnant? I don't know she not pregnant because I don't know what goes on in that heifer's uterus. What I will say is, if she was pregnant, the baby would be here because they filmed a year ago. You're only pregnant for 10 months. So now what? Where's the baby that your mom needed to sell her house for and move in with you for? Yeah. During that scene, we see that Brittany's sister and her mom, they have an argument. And I understand where the sister was coming from. I personally think that the mom should have tried to keep the house. I mean, I don't necessarily know her financial situation or what was going on, but I do think that it would have been smart to try and keep the house. Again, I don't know the details, so I'll mind my business. We then see the sister break down again because she just feels like she's so distant from her other sister. And I honestly thought the second breakdown was, I thought the breakdown was a lot, but I see how she got there. It felt very dramatic. That's all I would say. It felt very dramatic. I can see how she got there, but it felt very dramatic. At the Bailey Q, we see that Brittany and Angela have this back and forth moment. I feel like Brittany is constantly trying to come for Angela, and it's really weird to me because Brittany can't keep up. Angela she's literally, like, she's a shade assassin. Like, she is quick with the comebacks. The girl, she keeps them coming. Okay, she's quick with the 1-2. Angela low-key has been keeping the show afloat, but we'll get to her. Angela has been really quick with the 1-2, and so I'm just like, Brittany, out of all people, why you keep trying to pick on Angela and you can't keep up, mamas? You can't. You're failing. If the girls didn't tell you, you're doing horrible. Stop. Anyway, she says what she says to Angela. Angela goes and, she says something like, well, maybe it sounds like you need to use your mouth more. Maybe she does need to use her mouth more, but I don't think that was necessary to say. Angela then comes with the comeback. Not like you, not with those stretch marks around your mouth. I'm sorry, that is diabolical. If a bitch ever told me you got stretch marks around your mouth, which is absolutely false, I would be like, bitch, where did you even come up with that from? Like, what? That is a hurtful ass read. A lot of stuff is like, he. Okay, bitch, whatever. That is like, damn. And then it makes everybody think, Well, how many miles do you got on that damn mouth? What the fuck was you doing with that mouth of yours, bitch? What the fuck was you doing with that mouth of yours? That's all I can think. Because when somebody say you got stretch marks around your mouth is diabolical. It's diabolical, and that is a classic read. And I'm not even like a read girly, but when she said it, I said, huh? Angela, you ate that one up, girl. You ate that the fuck up. Okay? What else was I gonna say? And then she called Brittany and she said, Brittany, you're a whore. I ate it up. I ate it the fuck up. When I tell you my favorite thing to say to men is you're a whore, because it's the truth. Because you niggas be loose and you niggas are whores. I love to call people whores. I love to call men whores. I will call a bitch a whore if it's relevant. Ate it up. I was like, oh my God, Angela. That was a good moment. That was a good fucking moment. Anyway, I just want to go on record to say that I've been calling the girls whores. Bitch, you're a whore. So Brittany's response was, what about that outside baby that Charles had? What about that outside baby that Charles had? Now, I was waiting for somebody to bring up the outside baby in front of Charles. I was waiting. And I feel like maybe that's why Brittany kept poking at Angela. Because she's like, yeah, I'm going to get her so that I can say this outside baby thing. And honestly, by the time Angela said everything that she said, honestly, the outside baby thing was like, played out. And because I guess they spoke about it and it didn't really hit as hard because it wasn't like the element of surprise. And then we also have the viral clip of Wendy Williams going around and telling the story. It just really didn't hit and land the way I think that Brittany wanted it to land. So that was a fail, Brittany. Try again. Moving on. So then we see the scene where Angela and Charles are discussing the pool situation. Of course, when what's her name? Portia said that she was gonna fuck Charles, or she will fuck Charles. I just feel like Charles is the motherfucking enemy, because if I'm your wife and I'm telling you a story, I don't need you to be siding with the bitch that I don't fuck with. Okay? Bitch, be on my side. Especially if we on TV. You need to be on my side, bitch. Pretend. Charles is like too nonchalant. He don't be having Angela's back. I don't like it. And it's sad because she's constantly essentially defending your ass, because honestly, what would they have to say about her besides her nose? They wouldn't have nothing to say. The only thing that they have to say is coming for your black ass, and you sitting over here defending these hoes? Charles needs to get it the fuck together with his old ass. I didn't like it. I didn't fucking like it. I know I'm talking about your husband, Angela, so you might think I'm not on your side, but I'm on your side. Charles, get it together. Moving on. Oh, that was it. Angela held down the show. Angela held down the show. Charles is a traitor. Portia and Shamia needed to call it quits, because Portia's a friend to no one. I want to double back on that. I also think that Shamia everybody, as a matter of fact, needs to be mindful that what someone will do to someone else, they'll do to you. And I'm talking about Portia. If someone says, oh, I'll fuck her husband, you may not be married at that time, or she may not be talking about your husband at that time, but if she'll fuck one husband, she'll fuck your husband too. Especially since y'all all fuck with rich niggas. She fuck around and want your life, and now she fucking on your husband. That's not okay. That's not something to say. That shows her character, that shows her values, that shows her morals. Also, I want to note that Portia actually defended what she said. She said, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that I'll fuck Charles. But then she was like, well, maybe I should have, because I was kikiing with my friends. No. I've never kikied. I hate bitches like that. I've never kikied and said some shit like that. Now, we've all kikied and maybe you done something, or you've been drunk and maybe you done something that's not the best, or maybe you said something that's not the best. But at the end of the day, there's certain lines that I feel like you don't cross. And I just feel like that's very telling as to the type of bitch, the type of person that she is. And yeah, no. And if I was y'all, I keep her away from my man. And I'm not even that girl. Like, I'm not even a super, like, insecure, oh, I gotta hide his eyes and all that type of other stuff. Like, let him live his life, because he's gonna essentially do what he wants to do regardless. But some bitches is sneaky and they conniving and they hate you so much, Shamia. They hate you so much that they want your fucking life and they'll fuck your man just out of spite. I'm just saying. And then Cynthia just tried to play Peacemaker as always. Oh, and then I also wanted to speak about the conversation that Angela had with Portia. So Angela had a conversation with Portia, and they were basically able to come to some type of middle ground. They apologized, whatever, they hugged it out. But when Angela had the conversation with Shamia, she had more smoke for Shamia. Now, what she said was, I don't know if she said it in the confessionals or she said it to Shamia. She was basically saying that she held Shamia to a certain standard, which I could see somebody meeting Shamia and Portia and being like, okay, Shamia is real, she's authentic, I could possibly have a real relationship with her, so I'm going to hold her to a different standard. I could absolutely see that. But although I understand that and I see that perspective, I still feel like Angela should have had more smoke for the person that said that they will fuck your man to the person that laughed. Do I agree that Shamia laughing was okay? I don't. Would drunk me have laughed? Maybe a nervous laugh? Or like that awkward, like, type of laugh? I don't know, maybe. Because I don't think shit like that. I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's funny. I don't like shit like that. Especially at my big age. Even when I don't really ever feel like I like shit like that, but I really don't like shit like that at my big age. I just feel like we as girls, we as women, I feel like we need to stick together. And I think the last thing that you need to do is be fucking on somebody's man. If I knew that somebody was in a marriage or in a relationship and they came up to me and they tried to talk to me, you know what I would say? Immediately, go back to your girlfriend. Go back to your wife. Get the fuck out of my face. There was a guy recently that, he says he's not in a relationship, but it looks like a relationship to me. So what is there for me to say at that point? But go to your girlfriend. Why are you texting me? Why are you on my phone? Why are you in my DMs? Why are you liking my pictures? Go be with your fucking girlfriend. I'm that girl. I won't tell you, because bitches like to fight. You tell them about their man, they like to fight. So I'm not going to say nothing to you unless we close to something like that. But I'm damn sure not about to entertain it. So I really don't like stuff like that. I don't think that's funny. And these bitches are 40. That's not cute. That's not okay. That's not funny. I guess this episode was more tea than it sounds more interesting when I explained it. I thought it was okay, but it was more tea than I expected. And now we're going to get into comment confessions.
Comment confessions.
Okay, so I need y'all to understand that I've always been that kid. Honor roll, gifted program, never got caught sneaking out because I never snuck out. And legit, I used to practice my signature for when I'd be famous. My mom, strict, religious, dramatic, like, don't put your purse on the floor or you'll be broke forever type of dramatic. Anyway, fast forward to me as an adult. I worked hard, saved up for months, and finally had enough money for a real car. Nothing fancy, just something that didn't scream, I'm one pothole away from walking. I was proud, even gave her a name. She was Silver, she was Spicy, she was Sasha. Now here's where it gets weird. I left Sasha parked at my mom's house one weekend while I went on a quick work trip. I told her to keep an eye on her, and I believed her. She's my mother. What kind of mom lets harm come to her child's baby? I get back Saturday, go outside to get in Sasha. Sasha is gone. I run inside like, Mom, where's my car? She sips her tea like I asked her about the weather and goes, oh, that boy from church is borrowing it for a few days. He needed it more than you. I blacked out. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Turns out, this woman gave my car keys to some random 19-year-old church intern who needed to get around to figure out his life. She said God put it in her heart. I said God better put it in his heart to return my damn car. I called the guy and he answers the phone like we're friends. Oh, hey, your mom said it's cool. I'm just running a few errands. I'll be back soon. Y'all. This man had my car for 3 days. Posted a selfie in it. Put a steering wheel cover on it. I saw my Sasha in the background of his Instagram story with the dang Little Trees air freshener hanging in it like he paid a note on it. When he finally brought it back, it had more miles. One of my Beyonce CDs was missing. And he had the nerve to say, she drives good. You should let me take her again sometime. I turned to my mom like, was this a rental agency or a non-for-profit? She had the nerve, the audacity to say, you shouldn't be so materialistic. God blesses those who share. Ma'am, he didn't borrow sugar. He took my entire car. To this day, she swears she was helping someone in need. But I never left Sasha alone with her again. Lesson learned. Don't leave your baby with someone who thinks Jesus doubles as an enterprise. As an enterprise. I wish the fuck I would leave my car with somebody and then somebody else ends up driving my car. If I give you something of mine, there's no reason why somebody else should have it. That's why I don't like giving my stuff out. Because people don't care about your stuff as much as you care about your stuff. And they will fuck your shit up. And I learned that so early, which is why I'm just like so apprehensive about so many things. Because people do not care for your things as much as you do. Why would I ever loan somebody's car out to somebody else? And she didn't know that boy. And she gonna loan your car out to somebody that you don't fucking know and she doesn't even know? That's insane. Sometimes I wonder, like, what types of things goes through people's head. Because in what world is that ever okay? In what world? Like, I just don't get it. In what world would that ever be acceptable? I don't understand. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Remember that this is streaming on all platforms. You can watch or listen to a podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe or follow. And I can't wait to see you guys next week.
You tapped in now, it's a dose of precious. 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 She's grown. She's broke. She's speaking her mind. A little dose of truth with a whole lot of shine. Hot topics, real life, no stressing. You tapped in now, it's a dose of precious.